From Antigua,
Haile Selassie,
Africa,
my highest
to Europe, to America,
me not camouflage.
South America.
Rastafari is not the enemy. You don't profile, tag and study me. What you found? Peace, love and sanity. Plus strong love for humanity. Don't bastardize Rasta, no, no. Cause Rasta not terrorist. Don't chastise Rasta. Rasta I God bless, just mind who you are there. And Rasta ain't no nigga, no. And Rasta ain't no dog, no. And Rasta ain't no shatter. Cause Rasta no fraud, cool and deadly, never too quick to chat. Huh. And when my trumpet sound, pure words hits you like a slap.
That's it. Yes, give thanks and praises unto the Most High. Jah Rastafari. When I used to be on the radio, I used to be saying like, right now I'm going to drop my brethren. Kiyode Erasto sometimes used to message me and say, no, whichever one we used to, we used to say,
Erasto,
Kiyode, and then you used to message me and say,
it's really Kiyode
Erasto. It's like, all right, so WADADLI is a show hosting all of the artists in Antigua, all the, some people say local talent, I like to say national talent, that is from Antigua. WADADLI is also reaching out to entrepreneurs in the business in Antigua, in the business sector. So WADADLI can definitely go anywhere. So this afternoon, my special guest, Kiyode Erasto. Blessed love.
Blessed love, King.
Welcome to the show. WADADLI.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yes, sir.
WADADLI.
Everybody want to know WADADLI, so I decided to do this show. And we're gonna, before I get into WADADLI with you presently, let's go to the foundation, to the roots, to the groundation.
Yeah, man.
When originally are you from in Antigua?
Well, I'm from York's Village.
York's Village.
York's Village, St. John's, Antigua. That is over, when you pass Villa, you hit York's. And if you're in a Fort Road and you hit northwest, you can hit York's.
Right.
So over that area, I was born 1974, the 15th of February. So, you know, as they say, Aquarius, the kind of energy, the Aquarius energy, you know. So, I was born basically from Rastafari parents, my mother and my father, you know, Rastafari. From a born a Rastafari, I see them deal with, you know, they had the locks, they have the locks and they embedded themselves in the liberty and in the culture. So come up in that energy, the Rastafari energy, you know. Attending to Rasta function, going to the Naya Bingi, you know, and always listening to that good foundation reggae music, coming up as a young boy, as a young Ras coming up, you know.
So you never got the chance to, say, grow as a child without locks?
Oh, yeah,
because you was raised with Rasta. Your mom and your dad is Rasta.
Yeah.
So you was raised in a Rastafari home.
I'm glad you said that, you know.
Was locks was from the start, or you had?
Locks was from the start, but as I said, I was born in the 70s, 74,
right.
And at that time, you couldn't go to government school with locks, you know. So, but my parents, they have us had locks for a while, for a couple of years, because I remember they tried, and at that time they couldn't get us into the school until I was about 4 or 5, say 5 round it. 5, somewhere around there, when they got us into village school.
Okay.
And it was just for a couple months, not too long, because I think when they got us into the school, it was Walters and them government rule the time.
PLM.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then they lost power, and then ALP come back and we get the power. And somehow Rasta was having a hard time. I remember they had to take us out to village school.
Yeah.
And then we went to a school on Newgate Street. I think Bruce Goodwin also used to teach at that school on Newgate Street, you know, where Jews used to be.
Yes.
Well, where some Jews around there, some old building, they still remain, you know, maybe the walls and so on, where they break down and was judging the harbour the other day.
Okay.
Around that area. I remember going to school there for a while, and then that school get shut down, I guess, because that school, I guess, was linked to the the government that lost, something like that.
Right. You know
See
how the politics
come into play. All the time we had locks.
Yeah.
And then I remember my parents, a Rasta school start in the Rastafari community. And I remember going to the Rasta school. Last I remember was in Grace Farm, Green Bay area around there.
Yeah.
We were going to a Rasta school around
So
there.
this is 80s?
Yeah, this is like late 70s.
Early 80s?
Yeah.
Right.
In that time.
Yeah.
So, one of the teacher used to teach us was Brenda, and you know, Sister Brenda. She's still there.
Oh yes.
By Country
Yes.
Yes, Sister Brenda.
So she was one of the teachers
She was one of the teachers. You know, at that time, and then, you know, she was not getting paid and all that and so on, and using her time and giving the assistance to the community. I guess after a while the school got shut down. And my mother, she couldn't take it no more, so she cut off our locks and sent us to government school.
Right.
And we went back to village school. And I went to village school without my locks, passed my exams to go to a secondary school. I went to Princess Margaret School. Right. So I did the whole of Princess Margaret School without locks. And then I graduated from Princess Margaret School. And then I worked with my mother for about a year. And then I got a job at the DCA, the Development Control Authority. That was in '92. And up to this day, I'm at the DCA, you know.
Up to this day,
Started
from 92?
Yeah. Started as a building inspector in '92. And then over the years, I was promoted to senior building inspector. And now I'm planning assistant. So. But when I left Princess Margaret School, I started to grow my locks again. You know, and started to love, when I say love the culture, I always love the culture, but to dig deep in the culture and to study the culture, study, you know, the spiritual part of it more, and, you know, I started to get inclined in the energy, in the spirituality, in the culture more, because I was going into a man.
Well, what would have made you now put your locks back on? Was it the drive from the family that you grew up in, or you already knew what you wanted to do in life? Being as Rasta.
Well, I will say the drive, you know, because I never see nothing wrong with Rasta.
Right.
Because I remember as a young boy, I always hear my other side of the family who was not Rasta. They would usually, oh, what your parents do? What stupidness them do? She them locks up her head far and this stupid Rasta business. And, you know, so I came up with all that. I came up with the good part and the bad part, and hear what people had to say, see how people used to scan Rasta.
Right.
And say Rasta locks look brown and rusty. And they had sandpaper in their hair, and they have feces in their hair, all kinds of stupidness you just hear about Rasta. Yeah. So I heard all things, but
your examination of it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, the things that they said, I didn't see that at all. I see something different, something good, something pure.
So by the time you left PM school, you put on your locks.
Yeah, put on my locks.
And then where did you venture from PM school? Did you venture straight into, did you go to State College, or you went straight into the workplace?
I went straight into the workplace. I didn't go to no college. Okay. As I have a song, I say, never been to college, but my IQ high. So you never went to college, you went to work? I went to work. And this is where, in this establishment, you still working now? The same place? DCA, Development Control Authority. I use that as my college. I went there. Yeah. And I put out myself to learn more, because I went there, and as I say, I started there as a building inspector that involves architecture, building technology, and architectural drafting and so on, building, you know. So. Did you know you wanted to pursue this career from school? From school, okay. I knew I wanted to do that. Okay. I knew I wanted to be an architect. Well, now the question will come. How did you come up with the music now in those days as a teenager? Where did music start for you? Was it from the same time with Rastafari coming up before you went to secondary school, or after secondary school? Well, as I say, you know, come up with the music here, my parents, and playing those reggae music and so on, and culture music. Calypso too, yeah, Short Shirt and Swallow and Absnet, Black Maddie and all the rest, Chalice. But it was in Princess Margaret School. I was about in third farm. But even before that, in primary school and first farm, second farm in Princess Margaret School, I was always in the group that will be knocking on the desks and, you know, doing our thing and just the vibes and being creative, we'll do freestyle and, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it was around third farm when I started to take it more serious, singing and sound system and so, like Stonewall sound, the big bad Stonewall. You know?
Stonewall.
Yeah, I remember you from around that time, days ago.
Ah.
We used to be around Stonewall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is 90s now.
In the 90s. Yeah, third farm days. When you have Lenny and Whitney and Guzum and, you know, them man they have record 90, General,
Yeah.
King Dansky,
Yeah.
Silver,
Mack Truck.
Punch Ivy, Mack Truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You name it.
Siva.
Siba.
Yeah. So you grew up under some of those artists that was already out in that time in the 90s.
In that time, some of those artists was Antigua, big artists.
Big artists at the time.
So I was there learning even from them, doing my own thing, started writing songs. You know, we'll go over Stonewall and, you know, they will be playing the music, playing the rhythm, and different artists will be practicing the stuff, and I gravitate to loving that more love for the music, doing that. So I started doing my little writing and so on. At that time, Silver Smith was there, and Punch I, my two good virgin. They used to be like in the thing, man. They had songs on top of songs, and you know, going there and seeing young virgin like myself, that it just inspired me for just start right, you know, and do my thing. And over the years, I just, you know, take it to different levels and groom it.
Can you remember the first song you penciled? The first song you wrote? Then you literally take up the pen and say, let me write this song.
I can't remember, but I don't remember it.
You don't remember the song?
The song, he said. It was, I was in second form and I wrote a song on all the girls in the class.
About all the girls?
About all the girls in the class. Who look ugly, from who look pretty.
But what would have caused you?
Sexy.
What would have caused you to do this at the time? What drove you to write a song about the class?
Well,
Where did that come from?
You know, I just wanted to be creative, and certain girls I wanted to see what I had to say about them. So the things that I had in my mind about them, I just put it in the song, you know.
Right.
Some was good, some was kind of bad.
A little explicit.
A little explicit.
Yeah.
You know, and embarrassing, but
Right.
you know, I saw you go be an artist.
Right. The first song, or the first time you pick up a microphone, where was this place? See if you can take your mind to a place where you first, was it around Stonewall, or was it around in a yard, around Siba, Mellahawk?
It was around, I can say, Upper Fort Road, because I can remember, I was in second farm, our house burned down at that time, and we had to move to Upper Fort Road by our grandmother, so we were living with our grandmother for a while. And then man up Upper Fort Road, I remember Lally. Okay. And different ones used to have the set on the corner.
Yeah.
Bring down the set down at the bottom of the road there.
Right.
The road for go up by WADADLI, but at the bottom there. You know, and every little function or holiday they would string up and artists will come and do the thing. Mack Truck always do his thing. And from there I started to come out of my shyness, because when it comes to the mic now, on different levels. So. Right. And other people around you know you do a thing, so you have to show them you can do a thing. Yeah. So I started that, build the courage and hold the mic and spit a chorus and a verse. You know, other artists were doing the whole song, and to do a whole song sometimes was like, wow, man sing off a whole rhythm.
Yeah. So you didn't remember the first song you wrote, but you actually remember writing the song about the girls in the classroom. Yeah, and you didn't really remember the place, but you know it's Upper Fort Road where you would start, take up the microphone, start.
Upper Fort Road, I start take up the
microphone, start.
And Upper Fort Road, the way Stonewall sound, the Fort Road Gambles. Right. You know, Gambles and Fort Road kind of share. Merge. Yeah. And we will be starting to go over by Whitney, by Stonewall. The time there, a Burger and Whitney, you know, on the set. You know, Jamsey and so many about. And yeah, it was. Yeah, you know, you get more courage to just do your thing and the passion to just do your thing. Yeah. But it was in 2000 when I started actually touching the studio.
In 2000?
2000. The first studio I went to was Action Studio in Fort Road again, right side the basketball court. My brother Nigel.
Action Studio, Nigel.
Nigel, I play basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been the first studio you went to?
The
to
first
record?
studio I actually start messing with the recording.
Is that the Action Studio?
Action Studio.
So when
2000.
When Stonewall used to record in the yard, you never used recording
Yeah, I
over
was
there?
recorded by Stonewall, but we never really have it as for say a studio. I just be in the building and we do a thing, you know.
So would you be one of the brethren then? Because I could remember in the yard you was there.
Yeah, I was
so,
there.
And this would have been before 2000.
Yeah.
So in the 90s,
I was just messing with the sound
the sound system.
On the sound system.
Yeah.
By Whitney and them in the booth.
Right.
But
The first professional studio, like to go in a studio booth, was Action Studio.
Action
Nigel.
Studio. Studio setting.
Studio settings. Than a sound system setting.
Than a sound system.
Because you know the funny thing about it, that's glad you said that, because the sound system setting back in the 90s was actually our studio, because that's where we would have done our dub plates, everything in the sound system setting. on that DAT that our tape.
Exactly.
Our cassette, but
So I guess a Stonewall then if you want.
Yeah, I would have said Stonewall, because I remember recording you on dub plate for Pies and That at Stonewall before 2000.
Exactly.
So that's why my mind was like wondering how is it 2000? But your mind was more focused on like a studio setting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the first song now you would say you recorded as an artist? And was it reggae, soca, dancehall? What was it?
It was dancehall.
Was dancehall. So you was more into...
Actually I recorded enough reggae same, you know, but I like a final completion, like...
Yeah, you record a song, it completed mix, master, everything. That's the first one.
By Nigel.
Action Studio.
And it was a song, Radio Station. Play this pan ZDK station. Play this pan ABLS station. Play this pan GMFS station. And we play this for the African nation. Play it on American station. Canada, UK station. Play this one for the people around the nation. Don't leave the people on a vanity ride. Taking vanity pride, having vanity pride. Cause if you do that, you would lose your day, you even lose your night, you surely lose your life. Much easier for a camel, a horse, a lion to go through and need a life than for a rich man to take a step and trot up in a Mount Zion. So we play this man ZDK station.
Yeah. So that was the first recording at Nigel.
Yeah, at Nigel. First done recording. Done.
And this was 2001?
2000. 2001.
2001.
Because I started messing in 2000.
Yeah.
And I think he moved and went behind the court.
Yeah.
And I think that was around 2001.
So that would have been your first recording.
Yeah.
Why did you choose reggae first? Was it because of the Rastafari community that you grew up in? Or
well, I love reggae dancehall, you know.
Because you grew up in your parents listening to soca, Abstinent, all of them, Short Shirt, all of these songs.
But I always gravitate to reggae and dancehall.
That was great. So
I always, you know, the great Cooker T, Bob Marley, you know, and Jacob, Killer Miller, yeah man, Dennis Brown, you name it.
Yeah.
I used to love Pinchers. I was a big fan of Pinchers.
I think, you know, one of the things, not to cut you, I think Fort Road Villa and Pine had this thing about Pinchers and this other
pliers.
And pliers. I remember this for sure, because going to Pine, visiting Pine a lot those days, I remember there was this thing about Pinchers and pliers.
Yeah, they used to say one passenger say Pinchers are the best and the other say pliers. But
and this was coming from the 80s, you know.
To me, Pinchers are the best. Cause to me, pliers, I use Pinchers style.
Okay.
And Pinchers, when Pinchers sing his song and then he sing song that he write, he now sing no song that sound like no other man's song. And that is the kind of artist me like.
Okay.
And that's what me be. Me no want to sound like nobody.
You want to
sound
original.
Like Kiyode
Erasto. Originality.
I mean, I do covers. I mean, really do covers and so.
You never did a cover?
Not really. No, never. Never.
And it never phased you like you should do a cover?
No, you never touched me to say good.
So your driving force is more of original song?
Yes.
What's your favorite type of reggae songs? Like what BPM feel? Would it be like 75 slower or 80 BPMs?
I like the one job style, you know.
So 75 BPM, yeah, around 75. That 75. 78.
I like a little bit more than that too. You know, we just say a little bit more than 75 too, no.
Yeah.
Because that's my flow.
A little bit more than 75. Yeah, something like Jibba Jabba.
Well, that is more the dancehall flow for me.
Okay.
Style, dancehall mixed with the rap.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, in the rap age too.
So where did the rap start though? How did you get into rap? How did you, like, cause you started at reggae, how did you get into rap now?
You know, coming up and listening, viewing, watching TV, cable coming Antigua, and we were looking at BET.
Cable television.
Cable television. You know, and BET, and you watch the American artists and so on, and there was the program they used to have, how I'm living and all that. So my brethren, used to have a brethren, still my brethren, still the boat. Big up yourself, OD, Duke, you done the bless up. Yeah, I used to like go by his place and so in the afternoon time, after school, I just play basketball, but sometimes I just there watch TV and I just rap healed into. So since me love for write, you know, sometimes I buy here and I listen to rap, he might play some rhythm because he does the rap thing, still the rap thing. And me just start write and start try the rap thing and it come off well. You know, mix with the little Antigua dialect. You know, and it come off real well, just like the Jibber Jabber song.
Yeah.
Jibber Jabber song is a more complete than more complete studio than action studio.
Yeah.
And the music, by the time I did Jibber Jabber, it was around 2000?
About 2000, 2001, 2002, around the same time.
Around the same time,
Yeah.
because I remember Omari of Chosen Sound, he came over. He was coming from Canada and he came to Action Studio by Nigel, and there we met him, and he was telling us he's going to open a studio, but he's going to go away and come back, and he did go away and come back and open the studio, you know, Chosen Sound Studio, and he invited us over, some of the artists. I was one of the artists he invited, and we went and, you know, checked the vibes. At that time his studio was like the hit studio, you know, all the familiar faces and artists was there, you know, passed through and did work with him. I did some work with him, and the first song I did with him was Jibber Jabber, which is still
that song was produced by Amari.
Yeah,
recorded and produced by Amari.
Amari and Just Boss.
And Just Boss.
Just Boss did the rhythm, and you know, since they're working together, they share the production.
Okay, so that would have been your first recordings for Chosen Sound?
Yeah, that was my first recording for Chosen.
Did you do any other recordings for Chosen Sounds?
Yeah, I did a few other songs with Chosen Sounds.
Not just reggae though, you did soca also.
Soca, Mama, soca up front. You know, I did a couple of songs well with
Was the crossover from reggae, did it start at Chosen Sounds? When you started with reggae and you started doing your reggae songs, when did you start crossover to do the soca?
At Chosen Sounds.
At Chosen Sounds. This is where that started.
2006.
And that started with Good Up?
That started with Good Up. Yeah, that started with Good Up.
That's
up Black Pineapple, Black Media, Good Up, my brethren. We have enough work to do still. Just know that.
So the crossover from reggae now into soca now started at Chosen Sounds.
Started at Chosen Sounds.
Give us a little synopsis on this. How did you start to do soca? How did this start?
Well, I was still doing my reggae and my dancehall and the crossover, the dancehall with the kind of flow, Kiyode Erasto hip hop flow. And then Good Up came there. He's a young producer in Antigua. Big up yourself, Good Up, again and again. He came there and had some nice rhythms, and Amari fell in love with some of his rhythms. And 2006 he had a hat with him, the Caribbean Jeans. I don't really remember the name of the rhythm. Mac Chuck sing Caribbean Girls on it, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, and that was a project for Carnival, and a lot of the artists was doing songs on it. And they was like, Kiyode, you know, I do not be like, you need to do a soca song. You know, me kind of born the soca. But then somebody made me an elder. I was talking to an elder. Everything that happened at the same time, you know, kind of maybe days within days. And he said, oh, you're singing reggae and you're singing dancehall, which is good, but you should contribute to the Antigua culture. So I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, you must sing some calypso and soca and so on, and contribute to the culture. I'm listening to music and I like his style, and I see you can do it too. So that it kind of touched my conscience, you know. So I said, all right, we could try it. So at the same time, as I say, Good Up had the rhythm. So I did, that was my first soca song. I did Mama. Yeah.
That's when you started to do soca.
That's when I started to do soca, 2006.
Okay,
And
so
then I do soca 2007 again. I did some work with JMC Studio, and that is at that time. I think their name now, oh Lord. But it's Craig Christopher and Gavin Christopher Studio at that time. I did the song Strength and Power.
Right.
Still going hot.
Obstinate was on that rhythm.
Obstinate
You was on that rhythm. That was a nice project that time.
that
Very,
was a
very nice project. I remember playing that project on the radio station.
Because you was in the studio, I think, at that time.
Yes,
I was doing some work with them
a lot at that time. I remember that rhythm. So now you at Chosen Sounds, and you're doing there's reggae and you're doing calypso. No, you're doing reggae and soca. Now this, one day I turned on the radio and I said, let me see what's going on for the radio station, because me being working on the radio, I have to turn on the radio to listen to what's going on before I go on. I passed the ZDK and I heard Tony, best of love, I heard Tony White, one of them playing calypso, but he said Erasto Kiyode. He said Kiyode. It was like Kiyode doing calypso.
Yeah.
How did you get to calypso now? How did you get to calypso? Before the brethren told you about contributing,
I wasn't thinking calypso.
You wasn't thinking calypso.
I was thinking soca.
More soca. You would contribute to the soca.
Yeah.
How did you get to calypso now? Was it because of the same brethren vibrations?
Said,
Or
a lot of people was telling me my soca and them too serious. The message in my soca too serious.
because soca is a more movement, dancing, playing around.
Like I sing the Strength and Power, and they was touched by that song. And they said, no man, that it should be a calypso song. So they said, try some calypso too, man. And I started doing some writing calypso, and they came out pretty well.
And that's how you started to do.
That's how I started to do the calypso thing.
What forced you to go into the competitions though of the calypso? Because you didn't go into the competition for the soca as much as the calypso. To me, it's like you drive your energy more into the calypso, going into the competition, trying to get to the quarterfinals and the semifinals, but not the soca. I don't remember you pushing that much for the soca. Why the calypso more than the soca?
I used to push for the soca.
Yeah.
Because, the Strength and Power song, that it got me, riled up in terms of the message, and people was loving it and bigging me up for that and so on. So, and as I said, they was telling me sound like a calypso, the message. So I, decided to write some calypso, and as I say, working with the band. That was something amazing, going to practice and so on. I like that. I like that feel. Working with the band and, feeling that live instrument energy. Because, I wasn't getting much of that. I get more of that within the soca calypso world than in the reggae dancehall world. In the reggae dance world at that time, you must sing on the tracks and so on. So, the feel of and the love for the band and working with the band, that inspired me to go in year after year, and the promotion I got from it too. It helped to promote my music a lot and reach out other parts of the world a lot, in terms of the soca and the calypso, same way. It's hard doing the reggae music here in Antigua and dancehall and so on. But present day, it's getting better, through different avenues and so on, and the position some of our artists here right now. I'm a part of the Federation family.
Ah, talking about Federation family now.
Yeah.
So by the time you left Chosen Sounds, you went to Federation. That was the next studio you went to?
Yes, that was the next studio.
Okay. What transitioned you from Chosen Sounds to Federation?
Well, truthfully, me and Amari couldn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how he was treating some of the artists and myself. And sometimes I speak out a lot over when I was at Chosen Sound, and I guess he didn't like that also. So rather than just have the negative vibes between me and him, I just decided to just cut, just leave him like he do his thing, and me just go find my own thing, So I decided to move on, and I was working with other artists, other promoters still. I used to still work with Cobweb at that time, and I was working with Good Up, and other promoters was linking me and wanting me to do work with them. So it was all right. I was, let bygones with bygones, just move on. Until I meet Future Kid. Because when I left Chosen Sound, Future Kid was still at Chosen Sound. And then, wherever, he moved on from there. And then when he moved on now, he and some other artists, Link Eye and some other artists, Hotline and, Bunks and D Federation, Diva, Alicia, Roberts and all, they at that time, they formed the Federation family at that time. And since me and Future Kid the Bridging, since Chosen Sound days, we link up, and he told me about Federation family, and I've seen they were doing session and invite me to certain session, and I sing and contributed to their thing, and eventually became a member, so that's how the fusion started,
Tell me a little bit about what's the cause of you not liking how the carnival committee runs its competitions. What are some of the problems that was affecting you, that you pulled away from it? Because I can remember you trying to participate and going into the semi-finals or the quarterfinals for Calypso 10th and stuff like that. What would have made you not want to do this anymore?
Well, I think they have certain individuals in high position that they have this circle of artists who they think they want to represent Antigua and who would be the best face to represent Antigua, because they have that conventional look, It's governed by that class, those people in the top. And for certain artists, not just myself, because I see a lot of artists out there that's very good and contribute a lot of good music seasonally, professionally done. I see they get boxed all the time. I see they get pushed aside. I see they get teeth in competition, I believe sometimes that the judges make the right judgment. But you see, when that paper is taken from the judges, whoever high person will take that paper and they look at it and they say, no, I don't want this in there, no, I put this there. No, the judges and them judge this way, no, we don't want it like that. And they go and do as they like, so they make the judges look like they don't know what they're doing. So all these things, the unfairness, sometimes so much artists that they just have one band practicing 40 artists and even more than 40 artists, which is totally impossible for them to get the artist music perfect, near to perfect. All these things, it's just a total mess.
It's too much of a challenge. It's not supposed to be so challenging.
No.
And with it being so challenging, you decide no.
Yeah, and the energy is not right.
Right.
It's negative.
Talking about energy now, negative, positive energy. What is Rastafari for you now? As a brethren who came up his entire life in Rasta, from his mom and his parents' background being Rasta. What is Rastafari for you as a singular person?
Well, Rastafari for me is life, Rastafari for me is a healing to the earth, is a healing to the people. Rastafari for me is a consciousness that comes to save mankind, because Rasta bring them to themselves. And the people and them right now, majority of the people, them far from themselves. They don't know themselves. They may be who they not to be. They lost in the matrix world, and wire I run to them. And the wire that I run to them, I tell them they somewhere in our office. And maybe the next one wire I tell you that he fly and plane. So they lost, they're dreaming. Yeah. So Rastafari bring that awakening, and that rescue. So that rescue from perishing, from your soul being lost, from your soul being destroyed. Rastafari bring that awakening to to let you know that, yeah, you're man and you are the Almighty. Because Rastafari teaches that God in man and God is man, that is the fullness of life, you know, because we're looking out of ourselves as a people. So Rastafari give me that confidence to know that I am a son of the Almighty, the All, the Creator. I am a son of the universal consciousness. I'm a son of the universal energy. And that energy, that spirit is within me, you know. And that awakening helped me to know this God within me, this inner man. And this inner man within me now teach me a lot of things. And even to teach me to shine my light and tell of this light to the world, for even others can see and be illuminated, you know, because all of I and I are anointed people, but we have lost that consciousness. You know, we have lost that consciousness there, and I look for some anointed when you are the anointed.
Yes, sir.
So for Rastafari, for me, is a liberty, a Christ liberty, a liberty of good over evil, a liberty of repairing, because, you know, the earth is in shambles. You have global warming, you have people in the chaos all over the world in a different, you know, situations. They may kill people right now over the world and they take out them body parts. They may slave people, ship people different places of the world, and slavery like is still going on. And it's in madness. Man just take up their gun and start shot down people. So the earth is in shambles, you know. So Rastafari bring that repair.
Within Rastafari, you have the Nyabingi theocracy, you have the Bebob Drone, you have the 12 tribe, and you have the Orthodox, and maybe a few more. You're within the Nyabingi theocracy. You
Yes,
raised and
I
you
was-
grew in the Nyabingi
Yes,
theocracy?
I raised up in the Nyabingi theocracy faith. Yeah, a faith of prophet, priests, and kings. That's why we preach, because Nyabingi is a preach holistically. He teach you to be rounded. He teach you to be a warrior. He teach you to be a priest. He teach you to be a prophet. He teach you to be everything that you are to be, so you can survive as a man, as a woman, you know. So that's Nyabingi. It's a holistical faith, a rounded faith.
Within the Nyabingi faith, in the days of Nyabingi coming forward from Jamaica, because the culture started first in Jamaica,
Yeah.
when it reached to Antigua by the 60s, it came with a music. But the Nyabingi never really wanted the music of my research, searching with Nyabingi theocracy. They were more about beating the drums and giving thanks and praises. When I said that, like Nyabingi
So
with the
it
music,
came
with,
with music, yeah.
it came with a music, but the music was reggae. And
Rasta.
Rasta came with the
Rasta.
music.
Rasta came
but
with
when
the
and also Rasta came with Bingi, 12 tribe, Orthodox, Bobo.
Yeah.
You grew up in Nyabingi. My research of Nyabingi was not for music, it was more for drums. In Rastafari, the ones who were propelling the music, reggae music, was the 12 tribe. This is where
Yeah.
Bob and Peter and Dennis and all of them was joined with the 12 tribe. How did you manage to still beat the drums, be Nyabingi, and still have reggae?
Well, my parents are balanced people now. My parents, they will hear some, and not because he come from a mouth, they will still suss it out and see if it makes sense. So, although them are Nyabingi, they still deal with reggae, you know, and they still deal with the drum. Because my father, he's a drummer. You know, that's one of his profession. He make drums and so on, put skin on drum. So he's a drummer. And I think it was in the 17, this man from Jamaica come here, Ras Daniel. I was teaching drum, and my father and Ras Bagalaga was the only ones, I think, that showed up to the first class, you know, back in the 70s. So my father is always a part of the culture, the drumming, and, you know, even play for the dancers and so on. So he's a big part of the culture. So I'm always in that kind of energy.
What GWAN now in your life, presently now, with the music and everything? What GWAN presently now with Kiyode?
Well, Kiyode Erasto, doing the music, focusing heavily on reggae dancehall right now. still contributed a little to the soca and calypso in Antigua and Barbuda. But right now I'm working on my album. As I say, I'm part of the Federation family, and you know, we're working with international agencies, distributing agency, publishing agencies like Fox Fuse and VP Records. They call themselves now VPAL. So we have some projects with Fox Fuse, and we have some projects with VPAL, and I have, within those projects I have a lot of songs on those international labels, and they're out there internationally. A lot of people is getting to know Kiyode Erasto right now globally on a more wider scale, which is very good, you know, since we've been working with Fox Fuse and VPAL and so on, and you know, doing good music. Right now, the Federation, the quality, the music at Federation, the quality is real up there in terms of, you know, out there balanced with other international artists out there. The music turn up loud right now. As I say, I'm working on my album. It's going to be a reggae album, a reggae dancehall, more reggae. Yeah.
And how many tracks can we look forward on this album?
Around 12 tracks.
Around 12 tracks.
Yeah.
So now, you know, they are going to be listening to this, and they're going to be paying keen attention to everything that you're saying. They're going to hold on to every little word that you say. That's how much the young youths now are listening. What would you tell the young artists now that is coming up in this music fraternity?
Rastafari. Well, I'll tell the youths and them, don't give up. Never have that in your mind. Never give up, because the minute you give up, you just throw everything out the window. You throw your dreams, your hopes, things you aspired for. So you always have to keep that positive frame of mind and know that what you're doing is going to bring benefits, that what you're doing is going to prosper, and you know, the way you want in your mind, you're going to reach there. Never put a doubt to it. Never put doubt to it. Believe in your prayers, because if you pray for something and then you're going to be doubting your prayers, you just like you'll be disqualifying your prayers. Stick to your goal. As I say, stick to your goal and go for it. Stick to your goal and go for it. Stick to your goal and go for it. Stick to your goal. Hey, youths, are you for mash works, make extra money, mash works. Don't grudge nobody, don't envy nobody. Mash works, and make extra money. Mash works. Love your mommy and your daddy. Give them you know, give them you.
He's on all the major distribution
Yeah,
digital platforms. You can get his album, first album, Was Sanctify, on there, and he's going to have his new album coming shortly, real soon. What is the name of this one coming soon?
Well, I haven't
had the name for this one as yet.
Taken a name. I did a nice reggae song. I recorded a nice reggae song which is going to be on the album.
Yeah.
It's entitled I'm Africa. I was thinking about that, but you never know.
You never know.
You might name I'm Africa.
Well, look out for him. His new album is coming soon. Any release dates, any time you're thinking when you should have this album
not
to
exactly. I believe it's going to be more down in the year, more like November, around that time. November, I think, and even in November we should be going to Europe, Federation family. A group of us should be going to Europe to do some tours in Europe, link up with Yellow.
Yeah.
You know, Sugar Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sugar Daddy, big up yourself, bless up yourself. We're going to link up with Sugar Daddy, do some tours in Europe. You know, maybe visit. We're going to do a show in France, and we're going to be touching England and so on. So
those are some of the stuff you have coming up. Real soon.
Yeah, real soon.
Would it be this summer or next year?
No, it's going to be this year.
Yeah.
This year, later down this year. I think it's in November, same way.
Okay.
So it would be good if I have my album ready.
To go off to Europe and promote. You're going to see him. He's a son of the soil in Antigua and Barbuda. GWAN is a presentation by WADADLI-VYBZ grouping. And this afternoon you just heard from Kiyode Erasto Kiyode, the general, the field marshal, the son of the soil. Yeah, blessed love, give thanks for having you with us.
Blessed love,
Wagwan.
Rastafari. Wagwan!
Blessed.
Selassie, whoosh! Sanctify!